Total victory. Amazing. Amazing. 30 points on top. The fake news against him, half the Republican establishment, the judicial system. He's been arrested, and he wins by 30 points. I think it's totally amazing. I feel very, very good about the future, don't you? And look at who's gone. Basically everybody, all right? How many? Pence is gone. Christie and the rest of them now. Nikki and Ron. More on them in a moment. Can we see the margin? It was, what? 51% to 21 to 19. Look at that. How many points is that? 30 points. A margin of 30 points Donald Trump won by. That is just incredible. It is the ultimate political achievement. One of them. I mean, they should be writing books about this, but I notice everybody wants to move on. Oh, the story is now New Hampshire, New Hampshire, New Hampshire, New Hampshire. He broke records, okay? The last guy to beat the competition by, well, this was a record at one point. George W. Bush in 2000 beat somebody by 10 points, and he became a juggernaut. There's no stopping Bush. Let's see. After 10 points, Bob Dole in 1988, they were swooning when he beat, forgot who he beat. Oh, I know, George H.W. Bush, who actually came in third place. Look, it's a big deal. It should be maximized, not minimized. And how do they do it? Well, a lot of different ways, okay? There's a lot that goes into politics, but I'm going to talk about what I could see, all right? With my own eyes, my ears, Donald Trump went out there and talked to the people and did it relentlessly. Now, oh, he didn't go to Iowa as much as he should have or as much as the others. Well, number one, he doesn't have a problem with name recognition, right? We know who he is. Whether the speech is in Texas or Nebraska, it really doesn't matter. And he could actually fill an hour and a half with policy ideas, with detailed and sometimes funny critiques of his opponents, the media, back to policy, his record. You know, other candidates, Republican and Democrat alike, they can't do that. And I don't think they want to do it. They have a crutch, kind of like props. Check it out.
It was my mother, Catherine Eugenia Finnegan Biden from Scranton, would say, why not hush up and take any questions you all have? Fire away. Raise your hand.
I'll take questions from Republicans. I'll take questions from Democrats. I'll take questions from independents. That's why I do them. I've done them for months. I will take questions from every person.
All right. That's nice, but, you know, you're leading, and there's something about telling people, you know, this is where I'm coming from. I don't know. There's a little bit too much reliance on, let me talk to you, because sometimes they don't have that much to say. It's all about money. It's all about perks. Trump, his average event, how long would it last? 90 minutes. And you know what? Those events were full of policy, all right? I mean, this stuff, what does Biden talk about? He talks about January 6th and how we got to be afraid of MAGA, okay? Look at this. These are real issues that affect real people. All right. And when he wasn't on the stump, he was making those videos, which are very effective.
We're headed down a very dangerous path. When I'm back in the White House, I will immediately unleash energy production, slash regulations like I did just 3 years ago, and repeal Biden's tax hikes to get inflation down as fast as possible.
You know, it's substance. Far more substance than the media want to engage in. It's all who endorsed who and, what was the fundraising total last month and all that kind of stuff. This is about ideas. And it reminds me of another very successful Republican president when he was running for president.
To preserve our peace and our freedom, we must maintain a margin of safety, not numerical superiority in arms and armament, but a margin of safety that is a combination, a balance of a strong economy, mutual respect and unity among our great allies, and a revitalized, up-to-date military capability. History has taught us only too well that tyrants are tempted only when the forces of freedom are weak.
Very simple, straight to camera, ideas, not fooling us with a bunch of gimmicks or anything like that. Reagan did it, Trump does it. This new generation, the younger generation, Nikki Haley likes to brag about how young she is. How about just telling the truth, Nikki? Try that. That's good no matter how old you are.
I can safely say tonight Iowa made this Republican primary a two-person race.
What is that? Two-person race? Well, you came in third place. She came in third place, right? Yeah, behind DeSantis. It was close, but there she is all the way down. Two-person race. I don't know. I think that's kind of unfair. I know that Beltway tells you all this stuff about the amount of money that Ron spent and all that. Let me look at the map, the big map. How many counties did Trump win? 98 or so? And one county for Nikki. She won it by one vote. I would be polishing my quitting speech. Okay, I think she should. Well, anyway, there is still New Hampshire. Ron DeSantis did not have a great night. All right, I know that. Let's face it, he's just not good at campaigning. I don't know what it is. You know, if I went to Harvard and Yale and Princeton and Oxford and all those places, I would have a bit more confidence on the stump. And I wouldn't be relying on this kind of trickery.
Thanks for coming out to caucus. I'm proud to have visited all 99 counties in Iowa, listened to your concerns and answered your questions.
We're doing all 99 counties in Iowa because this caucus demands that you earn it, and you got to go meet the folks.
We did the 99. Now we need caucus night to victory. God bless.
It turns out going to all 99 counties is a waste of time. You don't have to do that anymore with technology. You know who does this stuff? Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer. This turned me off to the whole see every county in the state thing.
One of the things I'm best known for in New York is my commitment to visit all 62 counties every year. This year we celebrated our silver anniversary, the 25th year of visiting every one of the 62 counties.
Who cares? I've been in New York for, I was born here. I've lived here a long time. I don't know how many, 63 counties, 62 counties. Can I see the counties? I don't recognize any of them. I know my home county. I know New York City. I know Suffolk. I know about 6 upstate counties. People just don't look at the world this way, the way politicians do. And in Iowa, I bet it's the same way. People tell me, oh, no, you don't know Iowa. We're not like that. We know all. Nobody does. Nobody does. It's not a big deal. Hey, this is a big deal, though, how the people of Iowa think about issues. Not all 99 counties. Let's take a look at this. They call these entrance polls. 66% say Biden was not legitimately elected in 2020. You know, I have concerns about the fairness of the 2020 election. You're allowed to do that. And maybe if they had, well, not rejected some of those cases based on flimsy standing issues, it could have been more adequately aired and people would feel more confident. But how about that for a number? Next, please. 40% say immigration is the most important issue. Gotcha, totally. And 35% say the economy is the most important issue. We heard almost nothing about January 6th. Nothing, no one's interested. Everybody knows, everybody's finding out what really happened. All right, New Hampshire is next week. Next week. And for a moment, I want to talk about governance, how Trump would govern term 2. The deep state is a big threat. It really is. It's out of control. And we, the people, the deck is stacked against us. Take a look. How many elected, well, there are 7.8 million employees. How many elected representatives do we have? 437, I think, if you count them all up. And what can most of them do? Write a letter, right? Up against the swamp, our elected leaders, they don't have that much of a chance. And when you got people hanging around the military like Milley and the new chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, C.Q. Brown. C.Q. Brown, who's convinced everything is racist. Milley, who was openly defying President Trump and trying to trip him up every step of the way. Outright sabotage. Dangerous. And this is what you can see. You can't see this. It's called the SES. Have you ever heard of the SES? Probably not. It is the Senior Executive Service. The elite class of government bureaucrats. Unelected, very little accountability, lots of prestige in the government, and a fair amount of money. Some of them are great, I'm sure, but who are they? 8,000 of them. 8,000 in the government, and they have a lot of power. You know, the deep state, dare I say, could pose a, yeah, as I mentioned, a real threat to our democracy. And at this moment, tell everybody you know to stop saying the word existential, all right? It's a fake news favorite, and they say it all the time. Wrong.
We so believe that Trump is an existential threat to the United States.
Donald Trump is an existential threat.
Donald Trump is an existential threat to America.
It's tragic because Trump is an existential threat to democracy.
Yeah. I did go to college. I remember Camus. I remember Jean-Paul Sartre, the book they made us read. That was existentialism. Existential. Can I see the word existential, please? All right. What is the? They all get it wrong. The definition of existential is concerned with existence, especially human existing, as viewed in the theories of existentialism. Human existence, I believe. Sorry about the typo as we're trying to define existentialism. And here's an example of existentialism. The existential dilemma is this: because we are free, we are also inherently responsible. It is philosophical gobbledygook. Yes, it is. But it's not like the fake news describes. All right? Now, there's this. I mentioned the establishment. I mentioned Republicans, old-time Republicans like this guy. Who's that with Bill Clinton on the left? That is William Cohen, a former senator from Maine, a Republican who Bill Clinton made Secretary of Defense. He thought it'd be cute to make a Republican Secretary of Defense. Whatever. Never served in the military, became SecDef, and here he is with Bill Clinton back in the day. And, you know, when you get a job like that, you can dine out on it for the rest of your life. And now he is a member of the swamp in very good standing, still, decades after he had that big job.
I know that Donald Trump was the fireman in chief. He's the chief marshal. Forget about all the arguments of whether he arranged it, whether he inspired them, when he watched. He was the fireman in chief, and he watched the fire burn. And while he sat back either eating chips or drinking some soft drink and took no action, that was an impeachable act. And any person in the Senate who doesn't recognize that as an impeachable act and votes not to convict, they don't deserve to have the word honorable next to their name.
Wow. He's really panicky, really kind of desperate, totally over the top. Now, I've seen that before on cable news. Now, but from him. So, did a little research. He runs something called the Cohen Group that does business all over the globe in the most, well, cynical way possible, making huge amounts of money. I'm going to go through that when we come back. It's important, all right? It explains so much, and it shows what we're going to be up against when Trump gets back in there, as I hope he does.